Welcome everyone to the YouTube channel for the Cashflow Academy. Hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to bring more content to you always. And today we're going to talk about the turmoil in the markets, specifically the volatility index and how it pertains to what the market environment is. So what is the VIX itself? The VIX, or volatility index, is just a gauge. It has no revenues, no earnings. It is not a corporation. It's simply a tool that measures the amount of volatility in the market. So are prices moving a lot, in which case the VIX will be going up? Are markets moving a little, in which case the VIX will be down at lower levels? So it gives us a reading. It's similar to how insurance is priced. The more volatile something is, higher premiums. The less volatile, lower premiums. That's what the VIX reflects, is volatility in the market and how options are priced. Now, I think today, which is April 7th, 2025, the volatility index probably hit at least a short-term high, probably the high for this quote-unquote tariff crisis. Now, the VIX touched 60 today. It backed off and closed significantly lower than that. But why is that significant? Well, if you look at a candlestick chart of the S&P, the amount of movement today was massive. Sunday night, the futures were aggressively lowered, down 4% in the S&P, down more than that in other index charts. So we knew Monday was going to come in and be volatile, and it was. We had a huge rally at one point, a big sell-off, and kind of finish unchanged. But this massive wide range candlestick, what we would call a high wave candle, there was a big old upside and a big old downside, and then the body was relatively small. But that's what the VIX reflects, is just uncertainty, fear, panic, what some would refer to as exhaustion or capitulation, where people are just throwing in the towel and saying, enough's enough, I can't take the pain anymore. But the markets can't continue to move at this current pace. If we continue to move at this pace, the market losing almost 10% in value last week, you keep doing that week after week after week, and the stock market would hit zero. And of course, the S&P 500 is not going to zero. So are we going to slow the amount of volatility? I suspect the answer is yes. If this is not a 2020 COVID dynamic or a 2008 global financial crisis, and we're just not in that place. Yes, the tariffs are a concern for the global world, for the GDP of the US. Yes, there are fundamentals that will take a hit, corporations that will suffer, others that might be beneficiaries. But ultimately, when everything shakes out, we're not in a global financial crisis. Financial companies are not losing and hemorrhaging billions of dollars and reporting earnings that are just massive multi-billion-dollar losses like 2008. The world has not come to a standstill and business stopped like COVID of 2020. So we're not in those market environments. That's why I think it's a very good chance that the VIX topped out today. Now, if the VIX topped, does that mean that the stock market bottomed? Well, absolutely not. When you go into a bear market like the S&P and the NASDAQ, they're both down, have triggered that 20% down from the highs. Usually the average bear market lasts for a couple of years. So we're very early innings. If this is a true bear market, we've got more to go. So the VIX, I always call it, the first big spike is often the earthquake, and then there will be subsequent spikes that follow in the next couple of weeks. But those are little aftershocks. It probably doesn't go back to as high as the VIX hit today, but there's little fears and little panics that come through. Ultimately, though, the market can continue to trend lower even as the VIX is not maintained at 60. The VIX will often make lower highs. It'll still spike, but lower highs, even as the market is marching down to lower lows. Why does the market keep trending lower even after a lot of the worst case scenarios and fears have been tabled? Well, the reason for that is in many cases because now there's dominoes. So first, it's the uncertainty around the tariffs. Then there's the reality. Then there's the slowdown in the economy. Then there's job losses. Then there's other things that trickle through. So the odds of a recession have certainly increased. There's no debating that point. And so the general slowdown in economic activity, the uncertainty for corporations, etc., that should continue to pressure the stock market lower for the foreseeable future. I think it's very, very strong chance that the S&P 500 will not make a new all-time high until sometime in the 2030s. Now that sounds like a crazy thing to say when it's 5 years away, but think about it. We just made new highs a month or so ago, but if this is going to be a 2-year trudge and bear market and so forth, then you're probably in 2027 before the stock market really bottoms out. And then you've got to rally back and you've got to get to new all-time highs, and it's pushing towards 2030 or later. So I think there's a very real chance that we won't make a new all-time high until that 2030 time period. Now, someone might say, well, look back to COVID. In 2020 of COVID, the stock market collapsed, but then it recovered and we made new all-time highs a couple of months later. Why can't that happen? Well, it could, but it's different. We're not getting stimulus checks. We're not getting these loans for corporations that have zero interest and so forth. We're not getting loans for companies so that they don't lay off any employees and continue to make payroll. The amount of stimulus, the amount of printing of money sent out to citizens here in the US was astronomical. And of course, the market can recover massively if there is massive money printing that takes place. But this is an entirely different dynamic altogether. We had a huge inflation scare. The Fed is worried about that, and a double dip, a double spike in inflation. We have the risks of stagflation, etc. So the idea that there's going to be massive stimulus checks and a huge stock market recovery that just happens like COVID, I highly doubt it. So yeah, the VIX is probably topped out for this little cycle, but the S&P can continue to march lower. And here's the thing. That's great news. If you're looking to be a buyer of stocks in the future, if you know what you're doing, how you can stack income, how you can generate income off of the positions you own, get paid to buy things cheaper, all of the strategies that we teach at the Cashflow Academy, this is opportunity, and we love it. We absolutely love the opportunities that the market are going to present. The bad news is, of course, we don't ever root for a slowdown in the economy. We know that means that people will lose their jobs and so forth. So there is a bad element. But from a stock perspective, there's huge opportunity. In the options market, there's going to be massive opportunity if you have the education, the know-how to take advantage. So to learn more, click that subscribe button. Make sure you're notified of the next videos, and hope you enjoyed it. Now check out this next video that you can see on your screen and learn more about the financial markets.